Okay, so this afternoon we go into a new part of the event where we're going to be looking at a number of EC funded projects which have been running for the last year and over a year are looking to provide tools, funding, guidance and training on the Cyber Resilience Act, specifically to support SMEs. Okay, so we have a number of these projects here with us. I don't know, Luigi, if you could show the slide where we have all of the projects, if you could share that, because at the moment we're just looking at me on the big screen.
Yes.
But thank you very much. So these projects are all funded under the Digital Europe programme. They look at different aspects of conformity to the Act. And we had a very nice slide earlier from Panagiotis from the ECCC, which is, of course, one of the implementing bodies of the Digital Europe programme, which is all about implementation and providing market-ready solutions to SMEs. So the first one which we'll be looking at is CRA AI, and this is all about being able to assess when a product falls under the CRA obligations, and basically is available for use for SMEs free of charge. Okay, so all of these tools are things which will be available shortly to SMEs. They'll be free of charge while the projects are still running, and they're basically one of these support mechanisms that are being provided to companies around Europe. So our first speaker is Andrei Dragia. Apologies for he's from Cyber Labs, and he's the Chief Technology Officer there. So Luigi will share your slides. Okay, so over to you, Andrei.
Can you see my screen?
We can see your screen, yes.
Right.
So if you tell Luigi when you want to change, yeah?
Yeah, if you can go to the slides, please, Luigi. Okay, this one. So hello, everyone. I'm Andrei Dragia. I'm CTO of Cyber Labs, and I'm representing the CRA AI Consortium, which brings together cybersecurity experts, product manufacturers, a conformity assessment body, and the Romanian DNSC. We're building a few things. We're building a Testra AI, which is an AI-driven software mainly focused for SME manufacturers, which covers the entire process for building a product with two purposes. Help you achieve an adequate level of cybersecurity for your products and cover the CRA obligations as informed by the standards. So in short, we want to give you the beaten path for CRA compliance and to output for you what you need for a conformity assessment and what you need for a market surveillance authority. We're also building the Testra Academy to educate and train your teams about the CRA, and also PinSpot, which helps with cybersecurity testing, as on generation, vulnerability monitoring, and all that. We also recognize that manufacturers might already have tools for covering certain aspects of the CRA, so Testra is looking to integrate them where possible. So next, you'll see how Testra covers the coordinated vulnerability disclosure process and part of the vulnerability handling. You'll see the public portal that Testra provides to each manufacturers where vulnerabilities or incidents can be reported to you, where policies and disclosure can be made public to the users, and then you'll see how those reported vulnerabilities can be handled by your team. And you'll also see a short demo of the Academy. So this is all focused for the requirements for September this year. So if we could play the demo. Luigi, could you play the demo, please? No. Okay, there's a video that should be playing. So I'm counting on you, Luigi, to play it. All right.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so what you're seeing now is the public portal of Attestra that each manufacturer gets, where you're basically in touch with your users, your customers, covering that side of the obligations. You can see policies that Attestra is giving to you for coordinated vulnerability disclosure, which you're showing to your users. You can see here how your users, your partners, security researchers could report vulnerabilities to you. I have one pre-filled in here, which I'm going to submit in a moment. There's all the necessary information that have to be captured at this stage. The submission has been made. You can see here disclosures. So you are informing your users about vulnerabilities or incidents that happen. You're giving them the details about how to remediate it, where to patch, what actions they need to take, and all the necessary details that you have to cover. You're acknowledging the, oh, there's something crashed. Okay, no, it's back now. So basically, this is the public portal. Now you're seeing here, and Attestra have notified you where the AI was triaging the vulnerability and already seeing, okay, how critical it is and what would be the weaknesses, what would be the severity of that one. And now here we're in Attestra where you are triaging that vulnerability, you are handling it and basically doing the process internally to handle it. You can view all the details. You can view what the AI already analyzed and reported to you, and with reasoning why it did that. Okay, we can see here the okay, who reported. We could change and edit different information for that one. We can assign the severity. You can assign it to a member of your team to handle it further. We're acknowledging it now that, okay, we've looked at it and this is a real vulnerability, so we're acknowledging it. The 24-hour timer is starting at this point where, since this one is critical, it's exploited in the wild, so we should report it further. We're seeing here how you could assign a CVSS scoring for it, how you could put different analysis on that vulnerability. Now you're seeing in Attestra a disclosure. So disclosure, for example, what was created there. You can see targets. So those are the products against which the vulnerabilities are being reported, or there could be the remote data processing solution that you might have. Again, the policies. So there's pre-made policies as a starting point for you to get. And you can add those policies in here and adapt them for you. Different settings for the portal. Obviously, the portal supports all official EU languages. So basically, you're seeing now where you can go and modify all the different things. You can keep in here your partners and your different contacts, your supply chain, so you could communicate with them in a secure manner through the platform. To disclose information about the vulnerability and basically handle the process there. Now you're seeing the academy where there are different trainings for Cyber Resilience Act, which are published. Those are self-paced trainings. I just opened one of them, so you can see in here.
This is the second segment of Module 1. Before we
and there are different quizzes that you take as part of the training to assess your understanding of the contents. So right now there are 3 modules that are published in the Academy. As part of the project, there are more modules that are being launched covering the entire spectrum of Cyber Resilience Act and educating you on all those topics. Okay, so that was the demo of the very first thing that is publicly available from Testra. One mention here that the Testra is a commercial product, so is the Academy. So this is a commercial product. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any Hello?
I hear the echo. I hear a lot of echo.
Okay,
Okay, so I think if we move to the next, thank you very much. Sorry, thank you very much, Andre. That was great. And what we're trying to do in this session is show as many actual demos of the tools as possible. So the next project is Octet, and Octet is one of these projects which provides specific support on various aspects of the cyber resilience act. So I'll hand over to Tiberiu Baraboy of Expertware. And are you able to share and show? No, doesn't work. Okay, it's okay. We can just go through the slides that you send. Yeah.
Sure. Just to start the presentation, so Octet, it's mainly consortium led by Eclipse, which is the biggest European open source foundation, and their take into the CRA was how do we protect the many repositories of open source code which we have, and what they will have to do to protect that code or to become compliant with the CRA regulations. And of course, one of the important aspects is the software development lifecycle, because CRA has been mentioned several times, covers any component having digital elements inside, being a physical product which has microchips or it has any embedded software, being a distributor which is importing from somewhere some goods and wants to sell them in Europe. But more importantly, or the focus for Eclipse Foundation and for ourselves, was to protect the software, yeah, because the hardware is not very valuable unless we really have we really put software in it. The software is growing the value of a digital good 100 times probably. So I won't remind again what the CRA is doing because it has been mentioned several times. What I would like to, and that's really kind of a summary of what has been discussed. So we have been discussed, oh no, another regulation, we have so many to do, and we will be afraid of digitalizing ourselves. That I'm not agreeing with that. I'm completely contrary to that. I would say we need to digitalize faster, but we need to do it in the right way. And our role is to provide these tools to help people not to digitalize or to run away of digitalization, but to embrace it, but in a mature way, knowing what they have to do. A bigger part is that they don't know what they have to do. Many of the developers, they import a lot of libraries. They don't know exactly from where, how much they can trust those libraries, but they are importing and relying on them. And I don't know how many of you remember the SolarWinds attack, which was a supply chain attack, which somebody managed to break the website where the updates for the SolarWinds, the network monitoring toolset, has been published, and somebody from the east, red flag, and they were infecting thousands of very large organizations. So the impact was in the order of billions, and that's simply by poisoning an update mechanism. So what we try to highlight is that even if the company has 5 people, you still need to be aware and you need to protect your code base, because if somebody gets access to your password of submitting updates to your GitHub, which by the way, it's still hosted in US, so we should do something about it and maybe stay on the Eclipse Foundation. then they have the chance to poison and put a backdoor inside your code. You will ship that code knowing that everything is safe, you did it right, and in fact that code is vulnerable. So that's exactly what we try to clarify, and we started creating the awareness, like my colleagues, making it easier for the organization to understand, is this something which concerns me? I am under the CRA regulation, or I should not be concerned, because, for example, if I'm not producing, if I just have a website, which is a static website, it's nothing to do for the CRA. Yeah? If I'm not selling goods which have been imported, if I'm selling just goods which are European based, then I should not be concerned, because the manufacturer should cover that CRA. What is difficult though is that if you are small, you might lack the knowledge of how do I do it in a cheap way, in a flexible way. And we wanted first to answer the question, is the CRA for you or not? The second question, which CRA requirements do you have to comply with? Do you have to comply just with the default ones, which will be kind of a, best practices of how to do software development, of how to do software distribution of goods? Or do I have to look a little bit higher, and I am a CRA important entity or critical entity? So the application we made answers the first question, the second questions, and after that, of course, with all the scope exemptions, which are very clear. If you go on cra.octet.eu, you will see there that you have the full annexes on the left and the right, like a flexible helper. You have an AI agent, Oxy is his name. It has a personality. So if you ask Oxy, it immediately will put you 3 questions, and probably it will say, yes, probably you are CRA default, or I believe you are CRA important because, and it will give you the answers why it believes that you are where you are. But if you, let's say, if you are already CRA default or CRA compliant, or if you are CRA critical, probably you know already that. But if you are one of the two, the next step is, okay, now where I am, what do I need to do out of all the controls which the CRA wants to put? For the design and development, do I know where the risk can be for my product? If I know, then, okay, what mitigation measures I take, and the mitigation measures should be proportional with the risk they entail. And it shows that in a maturity map. Yeah. If yeah, I'm on 2 of them, but I'm not sure how I do the slides.
Next slide, Luigi.
Yeah, it's, oh yeah, okay. Now it's going. So the
next slide. You just have to say next slide.
next slide, please. Yeah, next slide. Okay. Okay. So what's the financial impact? Because nobody was speaking about that. I know that we are not concerned now, but it's a good moment to be aware of the financial impact which will come, because that will help at least companies like us to do probably to democratize the knowledge and make the final beneficiary aware. So they can be up to 15 million euros and 2.5 of the gross revenue worldwide. Yeah. So of course, and this is proportional with the size of the company. Again, the small ones will have a smaller fine, but there will be a fine, because if we don't have a control mechanism, people won't comply. We know that. Civilization was not always done just by the goodwill. We hope so, but we are not yet there. So civilization sometimes needs to be enforced, and the authorities needs to help us going there. Next slide, please. The open source comprehensive tools and resources, it's what Octet it does. Next slide, and I would love to show it because that's a little bit static. So who's behind this project? So we are from 5 countries. It's Belgium, it's Germany, Eclipse Foundation. We have as well in Sweden, and we have ourselves out of Romania. As Romanian, we were honored to be invited into this consortium. The only reason I'm here and is not the leader of the consortium is because I'm Romanian, and in fact, the platform you'll go, if you'll go and you'll do the self-assessment and so on, is built by us. But the platform is not just a platform. The platform comes with tool sets which help you comply with CRA. And the tool sets will be, it has been mentioned here, next slide please, several times, SBOM, software bill of materials. Yeah. So software bill of materials, it's one of the first components which we have to look at in the moment when we want to ensure the security of an entire chain of a solution. And now there is no software or there is, but I would say very, very, very rare, which everything has been written by the same guy. Yeah. So now any developer or any company is reusing a framework, it's using some libraries, it's importing them out of other projects. And this is exactly what the SBOM is doing, is trying to show you all the libraries and dependencies which you have in your digital product. And of course, in the moment when any of your dependencies has a vulnerability, indirectly, it will affect your final product. Yeah. So therefore, it's very important that all these vulnerabilities, first, I know them, and second, I report them. And that's what my colleague showed you how you can report it there. Next slide, please. So the GAN plan, it's the website, cra.octet.eu. I encourage all of you to go there. It's absolutely free. You register, you receive a hash key, and that hash key is your entity, corporate entity. Yeah. So it doesn't have a user and a password. It's a hash key, and everything will be based on that hash key. Yeah. So we are fully GDPR compliant. We do not keep personal information. Everything we keep on the platform, we keep corporate information, and even that one is anonymized, or you will see it only based on your hash. Of course, if you share the hash, somebody else will be your questionnaire, but that's about it. Yeah. It won't break into your code or anything else like that. I encourage all of you to go there, because we have already on that platform over 100 and something corporate from all entities, small and medium, from all over the Europe. And we see already different maturity levels. So you see regions where they have a SBOM, or at least they have a software composition analysis, SCA. And you see regions where they didn't even think about that, and now they see it as, oh, I have to do that. No problem, we are here to help. Next slide, please. Even maybe next slide, because I spoke a little bit too much, and should be faster. What we build, I mentioned that, so we show you there the classification, how that apply to you, and what you have to do. Next slide. First question, it applies to me. Second question, classify. And the third question, the more important, the readiness maturity checklist, where we suggest you tools. And I will focus on that part. So next slide, please. So turning answers into insight. And that's what we do. If you go through the 3 steps, the last step will be that maturity and the readiness score. So it shows not to you, but to many entities who will for free use that platform, where they are more mature and where maybe they are lacking maturity. And lacking maturity can be solved. How? By having some very good blueprints of what needs to be done, having the tool set and recommended tool set, and having tool set which are not expensive, but they are even free. Yeah. So by doing all these 3 things together, we believe that we will help organization assessing where they are. And as you can see here, they will see a spider. It's called a spider graph, but it really shows you where you are mature and where you are lacking. That's something usually used for evaluation like personalities, or showing you on many dimensions where you are. Yeah. And that spider will immediately help you identify where you need help. Next slide, please. Step 1, you put the input. Step 2, you will go into the automation. The step 3, we allow you to review with the ORT toolkit. That's a free product. It's an open source one. If you search it on GitHub, you will find it. We will allow you to take that free product, put it on-prem, evaluate your software, and immediately you will have the SBOM, this software bill of materials here. Something which there are commercial solutions, but it's equally good because we evaluate it against commercial solutions. So it will produce you an accurate SBOM, and you can export it. So it's something which you can use after that for GRC reporting. Step 4, we provide you the toolset components, the compliance checklist, the community evaluation tool, the reporting tool, And the step 5 will provide you that spider report, which shows you where you are strong and where you are not. Next, please. Now, I won't spend all the time explaining that because that's purely technical and it's complex, but what I will point out that this product is looking, in fact, into as many little clouds you see around. Those are sources of information, yeah? So it's using Google OSV. It's using vulnerable code, which are repositories, the OSS Open Source Foundation Index, the community metadata. So it uses many sources in such a way that it can recognize even the most obscure libraries. Very important, because you might have the well-known libraries and they will be immediately identified, but the obscure ones, which you might have in your code, maybe nobody really looked at them of how vulnerable or not vulnerable they are. Yeah, and that's exactly what we do. So we coagulate information from over 20 sources in such a way that when we produce you the software bill of materials, it's very accurate. We are not missing, let's say, hidden components which you are not aware of. So in that way, when a vulnerability will be released for any of those obscure components, you will immediately know, oh, but I have that. And in fact, you will have a notification mechanism to do that. Next slide, please. The ORT server provides as well the high-risk view. So by scanning all these repositories, immediately it will mark if, for example, you are using some libraries or pieces of code which are known to be vulnerable. So even from the moment when you do the development, before you launch your product, you will know if you are vulnerable or not. So you have the opportunity to fix it. Next, please. Besides all this, I would say, cybersecurity aspects, you will have as well performance evaluation and product level dashboards. So showing you how you do, how performant or non-performant is. And in fact, we are coming where there will be either insecure code, either not performant, so code bad code quality. We will come with recommendation. Next, please. So how ORTS is doing that? So besides integrating all these sources of information, it needs to read the metadata of packages, and the metadata is the description of those packages, yeah? And one of the first thing would be, for example, some developers, small developers, and we did the same some years ago, we didn't put the metadata for our packages. We're making libraries, but we didn't feel that. We consider, oh yeah, those are just comments. But those are very important comments because based on those, we can after that make this SBOM software bill of materials, and we can make hierarchy of packages which are entering in a digital product. So that's equally important for licensing. If at a certain point you will want to license your software, so it's quite important to have that package metadata. And the ORT server, when it does, it will also mark inconsistencies if for your own code you didn't correctly fill the package metadata, which will help you later on monetize the data, the packages or the software, and secure the packages or the software you are making. Because ORT will know that inside your software, I might have some other libraries. Next, please. So now we know the software bill of materials, we know performance-wise, we know securities or vulnerabilities if we have or not. So we came with another tool out of the Octet toolset, the Octet Curator, which is a web application and messaging queue with integrated AI, again, to try to help you remediate things. So it will assist you into the management of the security vulnerabilities, indicated if there are packages which just by updating the package will solve a vulnerability, doing the updates. It will generate the reports in SBOM and VEX, two formats, and it will control the software bill of materials through open source foundation management by looking at the header of the packages. So everything will be done with AI. So you'll be able to just question Oxy on the website where you have specific questions, and you might have to wait a little bit depending on how busy it is. We didn't put a budget for a GPU machine, so we do it on a cheap machine, but it does provide you the answers, yeah, and it provides you good answers because we validate the answers. They are validated before they are presented to you. So there is a validation to minimize or reduce as much as we can the risk of hallucination. Yeah. Next, please. The architecture, I won't bother you with that, but for those interested, we can provide you the slides. Being an open source, you will have the documentation of those packages, but I'm happy to provide the slides after. Next, please. So now, we created a guide, a roadmap of what standards we believe we need for the software supply chain, considering especially that we have many open source components. So if we have the good data, but we don't have the standard, we saw that the standards are not yet there, but in fact, we actively provide input to them. So we need identifiers, package URLs, where Perl they are called, where do I have that the reference for that particular package. We need to have the SPDX license expression, meaning for the software we produce, we need to use that language, SPDX, to express which license, how do we license that software? Is it open source? Is it Apache? Do we want money for it or not? And we provide the SBOM and the VEX into several formats. CycloneDX, it's a format. SPDX, it's another format. Both of them for SBOM. Why is that important? Because you might say, oh, all those terms. But in fact, you want to automate in the moment when you have an SBOM, you know all the components you have. You want to automate maybe that weekly or daily, I'm looking if there are vulnerabilities for any of the components inside it. And you won't be able to do it manually. So by having this format, industry standard formats, CycloneDX or SPDX, you can feed the ORT server to a vulnerability scanning tool, which immediately will give you if there are vulnerabilities which you can remediate. And another format is CSAF and CycloneDX for VEX VDR. It's very technical, but again, I hope you bear with me. One more slide, and I'm almost finished. So, tool-to-tool exchanges. All those formats are required. Why? To make pipeline automations. Yeah. So we want to automate from one to another in such a way that the end result is with as less human effort as possible and less opportunity to mistakes. Yeah. All keyed by package URLs. Very important. If I don't have this is the master link for my package, I won't be able to check if there is an update or not. So all the packages needs to have a Perl, which is the reference location where I find the latest version of the package, so I can update it. And data provisioned, that was from Federated Code, one of our partners. That's it. It's the closing slide, but I know that probably my time ran out. But one component which I feel that we need as a community to look. We have many tools, yeah, but we have very few repositories of seeing the maturity or at this moment in Europe, because our tool, we already translated. It was not in our initial scope, but we already translated in French, in German, in English, in Romanian, we aim with the help of AI to do it in all the national languages, but we still have islands of authority. So we are still fragmented and we suffer because of it, because even if the tool is free and it will take 5 minutes for someone to go there and do its best to answer to the questionnaire, very few are doing it unless there is an authority pushing them to do that. And for that, probably we'll need the NCC, the DNSHA in Romania, but the national authorities to enforce a bit, even if we don't want fines, but we want the people to realize that they need to feel that, because unless they at least start realizing where they have holes in their cheese, as it was shown earlier, we won't be able to defend them. And now we have maybe too many tools and too few repositories, but where to centralize that information. Yeah, I know that the intention of the European Commission is to have a single reporting of vulnerabilities, but it's almost impossible. Half of the code sits in GitHub, it's US. Another quarter or 30% stays in Visual Studio, which is Microsoft, which is US. We still have Eclipse Foundation, we still have the Heritage in France, which are keeping repositories of source code. But at the moment, only from these 4 different sources, we do not have the full view. So it will be very hard to pretend that I can cover everything unless we start a little bit centralizing the reporting part. So all this information to talk with the standard, we do it here in Romania, let's say, but it interacts with what's done in Belgium, what's done in Luxembourg. So at the end of the point, it's something we did in the application. The map really can show you the maturity per the NACE code, the activity of the company, the size and the region. So this kind of open data, we believe that are very important to show where we are more mature and to learn from them, and where we are not, to put more effort to raise it. Because if we are vulnerable in Romania and we serve a company in Luxembourg, that company in Luxembourg becomes vulnerable.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Ivilia, for a very comprehensive overview. So I'll pass now to Razvan Crăciunescu.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay,
you
thank
can
you
move
very
to
much.
Romania.
And we'll hear from the crazy CRA Made Easy
Yes.
project.
This works.
So next, you have to say next slide. Yeah,
Next slide.
next slide, Luigi.
I don't know if I'm changing or not, but yeah, I'm not changing anything in the world. Okay. Thank you. I think the previous the previous presentation was so comprehensive. So some of the things that we are doing in this project were are very similar with what was also presented. So I will go briefly through this, also to let my two other speakers to be in time. So I'm here to talk about CRAZY, or Cybersecurity Resilience Act Made Easy. The idea here is how we can answer quickly. For example, which version of any library, as already mentioned, it's in our software, and if that library is exposed, if we can evidence, or if we have any evidence that proves how we acted in order to contain that exposure. So the idea of CRAZY is to go through some an workflow from know the product, secure the product, and always prove what you did. Or the idea of this Cyber Resilience Act inside CRAZY is that every product with digital elements has a direct or indirect connection to data. So when CRAZY it will be enforced in full regime from next year, the small and medium enterprises should be already or should have already implemented some CRAZY workflows or CRA workflows, and CRAZY can provide that for them. So next slide, please. This is a suite of tools that CRAZY has. The project provides. It's in line, I think, with the last two presentations from white papers, security tools, compliance support, compliance tools, checklists, and so on. But it follows the same principle: identify, assess, remediate, document, and monitor. Some tools are already available or in prototype, while other will be available second half of this year. The idea would be to distinguish between default, important, or critical product categories with strict conformity assessment routes for certain important and critical products. Next slide. So these are the partners. CRA is not only about technical part or only about the IT guys. CRA are multiple layers inside the CRA. So from legal to technical. So the consortium has partners that are have expertise in all of these fields. From NCC Romania, of course, we provide expertise, but we are also a community. We can access the other NCCs from other countries, and we can offer them know-how from this project, but we also can offer the know-how to the community here in Romania. So besides what we are doing from a technical point of view, we have also a very strong community, let's say, expertise for the project. Next slide, please. So these are some expected outcomes. CRAZY is not just a list of deliverables, but also it's a list of tools that want to be given to small and medium enterprises for them to assess CRA compliance. So the project ambition includes more than 25 tools integrated into the framework and at least 30 products with improved cybersecurity posture. The next slide, please. So these are the two main core, let's say, services that CRAZY should provide. On the left side is we are answering the question, is the product becoming more secure? And on the right side, we are answering the question, can the manufacturer prove it? And for this, there are some tools like CRAZY SAYS, that supports protected policy-based network access, also software composition analysis that exposes software container infrastructure dependencies, the repository that keeps products, risk measures, and evidence connected, and also, as the others also mentioned, we have this tool for software bill of materials that likes as an integrated list of softwares and many others. Next slide, please. Yes, so on this slide, I don't think the picture is shown, but on this slide was a screenshot from the actual demo. So here was the CRAZY Secure Access Service Edge for network protection example. So for example, a manufacturer can connect supported devices or manage endpoints, see their status, organize them into groups and domains, and apply, for example, granular access control for each of them. Here are also the pictures. Perfect. Thank you. Next slide, please. Yes, so the CRAZY repository is in the center of all the operating models. And here there is we have register companies and their products. We have register and introduce risk assessment, register and introduce security measures, and so on. So it's like the central dashboard of the platform, with the idea to have a compliance repository that stores relationships between companies, products, and risk for each of them. Next slide, please. So here were some pictures. Yes, we have also the pictures. These are also screenshots from the product. And the idea is the same. So on the left side, it's how assessment converts broad requirements into actionable questions. Then on the right side, it's about the company, the team, and the roles of each member of the team. And on the bottom right, we have the audit logs that records who changed what and when, so that everything can be traceable and transparent. And the next slide, please. Yes, so if you want to know more, or if you want to identify risks, secure your digital elements, handle vulnerabilities, navigate compliance, or get guidance through the CRA compliance process, you can get in contact with our consortium, and we can help you. Thank you. Yes. Nobody
Let's move to Katerina from NSEC Technology. and the OSCRAT, Open Source Cyber Resilience Act.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Ekaterina. I'm a cybersecurity consultant from Intersec Technology, a company based here in Romania, Bucharest. And I'm here to present the OSCRAT project, which focuses on making CRA compliance practical and achievable for European SMEs. But firstly, thank you for the slides, Luigi. But firstly, I would like to congratulate the organizer for bringing this CRA Euro tour here in Romania. We are happy to have you here and host it. And I would like to start with, I think most of us in this room already understand what the CRA asked for. The harder question, actually, I think it's how does the small company with 5 engineers, a product to ship, and no dedicated compliance team will handle it? On the other hand, we have large companies that can invest in compliance department, external consultants, and specialized tooling. But many SMEs face a very different reality. How do you translate these CRA requirements into concrete day-to-day actions across the entire product lifecycle? With limited budget, a small team, and a very little patience for bureaucracy. So that gap between policy and practice is exactly why we built OSCRAT. OSCRAT is co-founded by European Union and developed by a multicultural European consortium that bring expertise from Romania, from Italy, from Poland, from Estonia, from Bulgaria, and it's built around one simple but important idea. Next slide. Yes, thank you. I said that it's built around one simple idea, and this idea is that CRA doesn't just apply to your product, it's applied to every version of your product. So, for example, if you have one product with 10 versions on European market, you don't have only one compliance file. You have 10 sets of vulnerability assessment, 10 conformity assessment, and so on. So OSCRAT was built around exactly this idea, and it gives you a 360-degree view of every product version, not just a product as a whole. So in OSCRAT, we have some capabilities to across these key areas of CRA compliance. We start with applicability check and automated compliance assessment. The tool walks through the checklist, you answer where you actually stand, and from your answer, it generates the concrete tasks you need to act on. It has SBOM generation. You could connect a repository from GitHub, GitLab, and produce a compliance CycloneDX report and then scan it. You could also upload your CycloneDX file if you don't want to connect your GitHub repository. From there, you get also a structured vulnerability management with findings ranked by severity and turned into assignable tasks. It also covers incident response and gives you a centralized documentation hub for both your organizational policies and your version-specific documents. We also came with some templates from you to start from. And it also have risk management, training and awareness, configuration management. For example, configuration management, you use OpenSCAP to check and your system to match your policies and to flag all the misconfigurations before a product reach the market. I want to highlight, to be very brief, I want to highlight 2 things that makes OSCRAT different. Firstly, it is built for how SMEs actually operate, limited budget, small security team, and low tolerance for bureaucracy. So it translates CRA obligation into clear, practical steps that a small organization can realistically implement. Second, it focuses on workflow, not just information. We don't simply explain the CRA and wish you good luck. We guide you through it step by step in a way that fits how SME really works, because a lot of our project partners is actually SMEs, and we know your struggle. And because it's open source, it can be self-hosted or used as a service, and every feature has an API. So you could that could be integrated with tools you already rely on. Next slide, please. Of course, a compliance tool only matters if people know how to use it. And to raise and build awareness and a community around the CRA and the OSCRAT tool. Since last year, we have organized 4 training sessions, 4 hands-on online workshops focused on CRA. All the training videos, session materials, and resources to build your CRA skills are available on our website in the resource section, so feel free to check it. Next slide. So I want to mention that in September, we will hold our project closing event, and would be the official launch of the tool. So until then, feel free to scan the QR code on the slide to pre-register and be among the first to know and to get early access the moment the tool will go live. And of course, follow our LinkedIn page, the OSCRAT project tool, and to stay up to date with our latest news. And if you have any questions about the OSCRAT project, please feel free to reach out to me during the next break. And I could also show you some little insights from our tool and make you a little demo. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Katerina. So now we'll hand over to Christian from the Curium project, which is looking more at vulnerability testing, if I'm not wrong. So Christian, over to you, and I know you've got a video, okay?
Yeah.
So Luigi's going to try and show it. If not, then we'll ask Soren to show it, okay?
Okay, thank you, with a sound, I hope. Thank you, Nicholas, for the introduction.
Can I just share the video already?
No,
No, not
please.
yet.
Okay.
Presentation just to make an introduction, and then I will try to keep it short as well. Okay. Hi, my name is Christian Ravic. I work for a small consultancy company called Cybersecurity, and I'm here as a project manager of the Curium project. Sorry. Oh, I'm too loud.
No, it didn't open.
Okay, sorry. Okay, hope you heard the first part. So next slide, please. What the Curium project is about. Curium is actually an acronym that stands for CRA Support Continuum. And the continuum, compliance continuum, as we see it. Luigi, can you please go to the next slide? Okay, thank you. So this is the QR code where you can scan and go to our website. Our project was initially planned to end this month, but we recently got an extension. So that extension will allow us to kind of further develop our tools to be more relevant for SMEs. Can we go to the next slide? Okay, so Curium is a consortium of 9 partners from 7 EU member states, most of which are SMEs. We have 1 competence center that is 28 Digital, and 2 national authorities, the National Authority for Cybersecurity of Greece and the National Authority of Cyprus. So basically, Curium compliance continuum. Could you switch to the next slide? And leave it for. We were supposed to end in this month, but we got an extension, which will allow us to kind of improve our tools. We are still now in this iterative phase. What does it mean? It means that we during the project, we held 4 hands-on validation workshops with SMEs and micro businesses. Where they interacted with our tools and give us the feedbacks on, and we kind of made some improvements, etc. So basically, this compliance continuum, we define it as a modular. So can you please switch to the next slide? Okay, so this is basically the endpoint of our project. It's called the Curium Compliance Continuum, as we like to call it, the portal. So it's an end-to-end framework designed to enable European SMEs to achieve, demonstrate, and sustain conformity with the Cyber Resilience Act and related EU regulatory obligations. It integrates risk-based methodologies, modular technical tools, and capacity-building services into coherent compliance pathway, while preserving the flexibility to adapt to diverse SME contexts and sectoral needs. So our approach, by developing this novel compliance continuum via tools and services that focus on cyber security information and guidance, trustworthy security testing, and fulfillment of essential cybersecurity requirements outlined in the CRA. It's structured around 3 independent layers. As you can see on this picture, and we're going to show a video soon. A little demo how this compliance continuum user journey kind of looks. But those 3 layers are like structured around core technical assessment tools you will see in the video, around the knowledge and capacity services, and all through this central access layer, which is Curium UI. It serves like a single entry point for stakeholders, enabling seamless navigation across all tools, services, and outputs. So Luigi, can we please try to put a video on which demonstrates actually the portal and the compliance continuum as we see it in our project.
Okay, so let me grab the video.
Thank you.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Welcome to the Curium project, a journey toward a more secure and resilient European digital landscape. Today, we introduce the Curium Compliance Continuum. This is a modular, end-to-end framework designed specifically to help European SMEs achieve and sustain conformity with the Cyber Resilience Act, or CRA. By integrating risk-based methodologies and modular technical tools, Curium enhances the resilience, security, and accountability of hardware and software products with digital elements. The central gateway to this ecosystem is the Curium portal. This user-friendly interface serves as the single entry point for all assessment tasks. Through this portal, organizations can access 5 core services: cyber resilience classification, risk management, product maturity evaluation, vulnerability testing, and conformity assessment. It's designed to simplify complex regulatory requirements into guided workflows. Our journey begins with CRA. This tool operationalizes the CRA by categorizing digital products based on their potential risk and criticality. Whether your product is a baseline non-critical device or falls under Class 1 or Class 2 critical products, CRA uses a sequential wizard to identify the correct scope for your assessment. Next is DPRA. This tool provides cyber risk management by assessing the risks of individual ICT product elements. It uses real-time open intelligence and international standards like NIST 853 to estimate cascading effects and propagated risks across your entire organization. Once risks are identified, DPMA helps you evaluate your cybersecurity maturity. It's a structured, scalable approach that helps micro-enterprises and startups navigate complex requirements from frameworks like ISO IEC 27001. For example, if you need to prioritize risk treatment options for system logging, DPMA shows you exactly what controls are needed to reach your target security level. Now we validate. PSTVA is a customizable toolkit that performs robust security assessments through automated penetration testing and vulnerability scanning. It integrates powerful open-source tools like Nmap for network scanning and NICTO for identifying dangerous web server files. Finally, the CAC tool provides the conformity assessment outputs. This forms the critical basis for your technical documentation and the CE marking process, ensuring your product is officially ready for the European market. Curium is more than just tools. It's a knowledge ecosystem. The Training Activity Catalog, or TAC, provides educational resources and practical guidelines to enhance your understanding of the CRA. This supports a wide community of stakeholders, from researchers and policymakers to consumer associations, building confidence across the digital market. Let's look at the logical flow of a typical customer journey: scope, risk, mitigation, validation, and compliance. First, CRA determines if your product falls under the CRA and what category it belongs to. This is your essential starting point. Second, DPRA examines your assets to identify all potential security threats that need addressing. Third, DPMA helps you choose the right mitigation strategies based on your existing capabilities and the DPRA results. Fourth, PSTVA tests the effectiveness of those controls using automated methods. Finally, CAC verifies the entire process, generating the final compliance check to meet EU standards. The Curium project is dedicated to providing affordable, scalable security solutions for European SMEs. By simplifying the compliance journey, we reduce certification costs and accelerate your time to market. Curium is supported by the European Cybersecurity Competence Center and the European Commission. Together, we are building a more resilient digital future. Subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on social media. Visit our portal to begin your compliance journey today.
Okay, thank you. Can we please switch back to the presentation? So as you might have realized and seen in the video, this modular architecture enables SMEs to engage with the compliance continuum, either holistically or selectively, ensuring the scalability and the adaptability across sectors, which basically means you can use either just one tool or you can use the whole continuum. So can we go with the next slide? Here is the link where you can go and register and test out our tools. Feedback is appreciated. You can also scan the QR code, but unfortunately this page we are still not mobile friendly, but yeah, the assumption was that users won't be using mobile phones to kind of go ahead with the compliance process. So one thing that is important here to mention as well, that this portal is and will stay free and open to everybody until the full implementation of the CRA. So until the end of 2027, although our project will finish in 3 months. But we are looking forward to engage with with as much as possible stakeholders to extract the feedback. If you are required any support, we can provide you with that. Can we go with the next slide? Okay, so you can still subscribe to our newsletter. We decided to issue another one, which will be like a final one. And we definitely also gonna have one final event where we will kind of present all the results and everything that we accomplished during the project. Until then, you can follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn. We are very active there. On X, not so much. And the website is curium-project.eu. So feel free to visit us. If you have any questions, I would be more than glad to respond to those questions in the break.
Okay. Thank you very much, Christian. Thank you very much for the video as well. Very nice. So we'll move straight on to the next session where we've got four more projects. And I'd like to kindly ask the speakers to try to keep to 5 minutes, okay? So we can be quite quick. So apologies for that. But so the first project is Confirmate, and we have Andrea Piresagnaro.
Piercinaro.
Oh, I'm
It's
really sorry, I'm so useless. So over to you with the Confirmate project, which looks at conformity assessment, metrics, and compliance. Automated. Okay, over to you.
Thank you, Nicholas, and thank you to the organizers for having all those amazing projects all together. While we were dealing with our own project, we felt the necessity and the will of the market of the SMEs to put together all the projects on CRA. There are many, and the market is asking sometimes, okay, many tools, all are amazing, but where should we go? To which one is the best one. So as far as I'm concerned, I am daily working in the Romanian National Cybersecurity Directorate as an expert in cooperation policies and cooperation in cybersecurity. But within the Confirmate project, I'm a consultant, generally dealing with the communication part between the private sector and, of course, the public one and other organizations that were within the project. Why Confirmate? We can go to the next slide, please. Confirmate comes from Conformity Assessment, Metrics, and Compliance Automation for the Cyber Resilience Act. Of course, by using firstly tools of awareness, we have been dealing with plenty of materials that are available in many languages, just like other colleagues from other projects presented. They are available on YouTube in many languages, Romanian, Bulgarian, German, Italian, French. And the consortium was, I'm saying was because the project just ended this month. And it was a project for 1 year, And the consortium was made of Italian Chamber of Commerce, the NSC, as the Romanian National Authority of Cybersecurity, CN, Bulgarian NGO, Fraunhofer, who were the ones who developed the tool, and us as national authority, we were the one who were testing the tool. Our technical colleagues that were members of the projects, and the WIBO, that was System Associated Partner with industrial relevance. After firstly, we tried to make a little bit of awareness in the market of what is CRA, what is going to happen within this year. We also designed a little bit of communication with the market. What do the SMEs think about the tool that we are going to implement, the tool that we are designing? Okay, they know something about the CRA, they are aware, some of them. And what about the tool that we are proposing? Is it useful for you? Is it not useful? Do you have questions? And of course, what I can tell you that within all those sessions of information and of gaining a little bit of more feedback from the SMEs, from the Romanian side, we have been finding out the fact that they're a little bit confused. Why are we creating those tools? Okay, they are not tools that at the end of the tool, if each and every SMEs will try to upload their documentation and so on and so forth, obviously that they are not going to receive a real certificate of conformity with CRA. They are going to receive a self-assessment. Okay, you can use the tool, you can do your self-assessment, but it does not guarantee 100% that you're going to be compliant. And this has been for us like a ring bell to see what is next, what will happen after September. We have been offering some tools that are generally the first step of assessment. We can go to the next slide. And within our workshops, we have been inviting also ENISA, the ECCC, NCC, and we have been arriving to the same conclusion that there is a need for the SMEs, even ENISA, who had a study market on the CRA, on the awareness, on the preparedness of the SMEs for the CRA. The fact that the SMEs, they need to have a centralized database for tools, a centralized and really good communication for what is coming up next in September. Yeah, they are all confused, as I was saying in the very beginning. Why are many tools from many consortium? Who avails those tools? And they were coming to us as we are the national authority of cybersecurity to ask us, are you going to do the same thing as NIS2? No. Unfortunately, we are here. We try to be updated with the CRA to see what is going to happen. But to answer also one of our colleagues here present, that DNSC has to do something. Well, it's not officially that DNSC is going to be the authority or the only authority who's going to be in charge in the compliance of CRA. So far, unfortunately, even if it is a little bit late, the authority doesn't know so far if we are going to be the only authority who's going to be in charge of CRA. There are not so far official communications with that. We can go to the next slide, because I'm trying to tell you more, let's try to say, interesting things that you can also read about the projects so far. And moreover, let's try to say some challenges that we really faced while we tried to promote both the project, but also the tool that we have been developing. An interesting thing that we have been doing as part of the consortium, it was to test the tool that the SMEs could apply and could see if they can do their first self-assessment and their product, their digital products are compliant with the CRA requirements. And we have been also facing some challenges because if there is no authority to tell them you have to do it, they are not going to do it just because they want to do it. Volunteering. Let's say we are some SMEs that we want, because of course they are a little bit afraid of the repository, of the information, and so on. And all the communication part and let's try to say the testing of the tool, it has been quite challenging, because we have been doing testing with, let's try to say, partners, companies that they have a certain trust, and we could not arrive to a certain desired number of SMEs that could test the tool precisely. And generally, also within all these kind of consortiums, whenever there is a national authority, the market will try to say, oh, you are the national authority. They are not going to look at you as a member of a project. Oh, the national authority said that. And we were like, okay, let's try Chatham House. No, national authority didn't say that. It is a consortium. We are part of that. And the members of the consortium, they were saying they are arriving to some conclusions. They're organizing some tools, of course, with the background, with the support of the experts of the national authority, but the ending, it is not a position of the national authority. So obviously that in this kind of projects, we have been seeing the challenge of the market to see, oh, there's a national authority, we're going to get those tools because they are more effective, because there is the avail of the national authority who's there. And if they are doing the tests, so something good is there. And we can go to the next slide. And also, because we have what I was telling you previously, that everyone was asking, okay, you're going to do the same thing as NIS2, and we don't have an official or a similarity of what we're going to do at the national level regarding or something similar with NIS2. There are different kind of legislations, and of course, while we were having and this is the last part, and I'm going to give the word to other colleagues to continue presenting their amazing projects. When we were dealing with the communication with ENISA, NCC, and ECCC, we were thinking of maybe there is another way in which we can put together all those tools, to have them all together in a community and to have them in a group. And here are all the projects that you can say, because all the projects are a little bit by their own. One here, one there, one in a country, one in the other, even if they're consortium from other countries. The market that finally we are doing this product for, the market for the SMEs, they are a little bit confused. We have been seeing that in Italy, and we have been seeing that in Romania. Therefore, yes, as the NCC Romania and also ENISA was saying that, yes, there is a need to put us all together in a database, in a platform, on an official website, ENISA or something else. And this has been also our recommendation from the Confirmate project to ENISA and NDCC, and we would love to help that. And thank you. If there are any questions, I don't want to go forward with a tool because you have seen many tools. Maybe it is a similar one. It is in GitHub. Therefore, if there are any questions, I would be so much happy to answer to them. And I will give the floor to my next colleague. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So yeah, some important considerations about the number of tools and how they could be interoperable or even in the same places. This is something we're working on within the project in terms of mapping them and finding a home for them all as well. Okay, so I'm calling on Ruben Brick from the Cracovia project, who's joining online. Ruben, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me clear and loud.
Yep, just 1 second. We're going to just adjust the volume. Okay. Okay, you got 5 minutes.
Okay, we can start at the next slide, please. So yeah, my name is Ruben. I'm from Erminas, and I'm today gonna give a small overview of the Cracovia project. We are a consortium partner, and I work as a software developer. Next slide, please. So first of all, Cracovia is also a co-funded project by the EU. The project started in September 2024 and will go until August 2027. There are in total 14 partners from 4 different EU countries, including Germany, Slovenia, Greece, and Cyprus. And they all differ in their stakeholder type. So we have some small and medium-sized enterprises. We have governmental organizations, concerns, and also companies who applied for notified body. Next slide, please. So the vision of our project is to empower SMEs and also manufacturers and distributors to adapt and comply with the Cyber Resilience Act. And the approach we are taking is that we implement the so-called Cyber Resilience Act compliance wizard. This is also what Cracovia stands for. It's an abbreviation. And it's an automated and also AI-supported framework that supports security by design development, fully automated compliance assessments, and certification support in alignment with the Cybersecurity Act and, of course, the Cyber Resilience Act. And it also supports lifecycle security monitoring and updates, since we all know the Cyber Resilience Act mandates at least 5-year period, lifecycle period of the products. Next slide, please. So the 2 main key outputs of the Cracovia project will be on the one side, the just mentioned Cracovia Wizard, which is the automated compliance platform, which uses evidence that is collected through technical platforms I will explain later. And on the other hand, we have the Cracademy, which is a platform for training materials, which has webinars and other awareness activities. And I have to mention the Cracovia Wizard itself is also a commercial product. Proceed, please. So if we look at the typical CR product lifecycle or user journey, it's in most cases it's so that you first have to check if your product falls under the Cyber Resilience Act or not. We have implemented a small tool called Scope Check. I will also show it later or explain it later. And the next step would be to do a self-assessment if you fall under the CRA or your product. In most cases, or some cases, you also have to do a notified body assessment, and only after that you can bring your product to the market, and then you have to do 5 years, at least 5 years of product maintenance, including security updates, until you reach the product end of life. Next slide, please. So where most SMEs get stuck is that the CRR doesn't just ask to scan the product with a simple tool. It requires a complete technical dossier, which includes a user documentation, a technical documentation, the risk assessment, a software bill of materials, but also vulnerability handling, most often in the form of a coordinated vulnerability disclosure, update mechanisms, and also the mentioned support period rationale. And there are hundreds of details across the 8 Annex 7 sections, and SMEs don't have a dedicated department most of the time for such compliance, and the question is, where do you even start? And most of the manufacturers we talk to know that the CRR exists, but very few know what the complete compliant dossier actually looks like. So this is a statement from my colleague, and I personally made a bit of a different observation. In my case, most of the companies and people I've talked to didn't know what the CRA was, and they also seem to be not very interested in it, since they, at least it's my guess, thought there's just another regulation. And I think it's because they don't know what full compliance looks like, and that it's actually a lot. Next slide, please. So the Cracovie Wizard helps with that, and it's at its core, it's the combination of 2 different solutions, but it's way more than that on top. So we have the Bunkai platform on the one side, which does network testing and communication analysis. So you can, for example, check if you use the most modern cryptographic standards in your network communication. You can also do dynamic vulnerability analysis. And on the other side is the OneKey platform, which provides firmware analysis, software bill of materials generation. It also scans for vulnerabilities using different vulnerability databases. So you know that there are no actively exploited vulnerabilities. You can triage them using a dashboard. And both of these solutions or platforms are integrated into the full Cracovie Wizard, which will be a single platform, which also includes some tools to extend the cover to the full dossier. So you have you can start at the beginning, and you have a single platform for the whole compliance journey. Next slide, please. So I have to apologize, this slide is a bit outdated, but I will talk around it. So the first phase would be to identify the product or your target of evaluation. In this case, we offer this scope check where you can go through a questionnaire. You can answer some questions about your product, and you will receive an output which classifies your product according to the CRA, or at least gives you a likely product class. And you can also download a PDF and so on. I would have shown a small demo now, but I think the time will not allow it. So yeah, can you go a slide back, please? So the second and third phase are a bit outdated. This has changed since a couple of months. We decided to build this single platform, which is now called the Cracovie Wizard, which I mentioned, and it will include all the steps from inputting the required evidence document documents like the SBOM and so on. Also, you can upload your software, and you will get a full compliance dossier at the end, which you can download. Next slide, please. So the value propositions the Cracovie Wizard will be providing is a step-by-step guidance through the entire CRA compliance process, which will reduce compliance cost and time significantly. And that's especially critical for SMEs since they don't have a lot of resources for compliance. You can track the overall process throughout the compliance activities, which is also really important. And you have a clear overview of the entire journey at any point. Users always know where they are and what has to be done. And having visibility into where you stand is extremely important because it reduces the risk of missing something critical. Next slide, please. So what is available right now? It's the mentioned scope check. You can find it on our Cracovie website. And both of the single platforms as a standalone. So the Bunkai platform for dynamic network testing and the OneKey platform for automated firmware analysis. And upcoming is the whole Cracovie Wizard itself. Currently, it's in a testing phase inside our consortium. So I don't know when a public version will be available. I suggest that you follow us on our social media or on the website to see if there will be a public version available. Right.
That's great, Ruben. Thank you very much. And we've got the next slide as well showing. Okay.
Yeah, there. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. So I'll quickly move on to Tudor. Over to you and the Cyberfraud project, which I know has an event in Brussels today, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Tudor Grescu from the NSC, here on behalf of the Cyberfraud team. So, Cyberfraud is a CRA cluster EU-funded project. And in one short line, it's a single platform that takes you from a regulation clause all the way to the evidence that proves you meet it. And I'll keep this introductory part very short, then show you a quick tour of the platform. Next slide, please. So, the problem isn't that companies don't know the CRA applies, it's that compliance sprawls, and the CRA plus NIS2 and others piles up overlapping obligations, and these are usually tracked in spreadsheets or scattered files by the SMEs, and that's exactly where audit readiness falls apart. And what auditors really want is traceability, from a close to the control to the proof. Cyberfraud puts it all in one connected system where securities can feed in as evidence with AI help and with a full audit trail. Next slide, please. So here's the core idea in one picture. Every CRA obligation links to a control, a risk, a policy, and its evidence, and on to the technical file and EU declaration of conformity. It's one unbroken chain, and anything missing shows up as a gap you can assign and close. Keep that in mind for the tour. It's one connected system, not separate tools. And let me show you that. Now please share the video demo.
Yes, the video is coming.
Okay, so the video doesn't have any sound, but has subtitles, and I'm going to make some short comments alongside it. Basically, it's a platform built specifically for the Cyber Resilience Act for manufacturers and SMEs. This is the dashboard, the whole compliance picture in one place, for organization, users, risks, policies, frameworks, you name it. The next will be the compliance chain, which is really the heart of it. Each obligation linked to a control, a risk, a policy, and its evidence, and gaps surface automatically. It's multi-framework, CRA, and IS2, etc. You implement a control once, then reuse it absolutely everywhere. Scanners live inside the platform as bomb vulnerabilities, code, app, and network, and each finding becomes real evidence. This is the hot take, the EU conformity part. When you're ready, the technical file and the EU declaration will assemble themselves from the chain. And last but not least, and also very important, is that it's live today and you can try it at access.cyber-4.eu. And now we can go also to the final side because we have there these numbers already.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Is this the correct slide or?
No. But I can speak on it. It's okay. To wrap up, it's very simple. Cyber4 isn't a concept. It's in production today, used by dozens of organizations across fintech, energy, and managed security. The main takeaway is that with Cyber4 conformity becomes an output of your everyday work, not a last-minute scramble before an audit. And remember, it's part of the CRA cluster and it's EU funded. And again, you can try it at access.cyber-4.eu. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stu. That was great. Now, I think the first of the tools which is actually online and usable as well. I think this is the first one which is, so that's fantastic. So great news. Okay, we have our final speaker in this session. So Nikos Lamprou from the Detangle project, which isn't actually a digitally funded project, but is a research project, if I'm not wrong. So Nikos, you literally have five minutes, please, okay?
You said 15?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay, so can you hear me? I guess it's clear, the sound. Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation and products and demos. Detangle is a project that just started, so it's 6 months now. And because of that, I don't have any software or products to demonstrate. I will just share with you the high-level architecture and the objectives and the outcomes that we expect that this project will have. And I will promise that I will make it in 5, maximum 6 minutes. So can you move to the next slide, please? Okay. So understand the web of EU cybersecurity regulations, which is actually a very complex web. Can we move to the next one? There are 2 slides for the company. I will just move forward very fast. Improvise Software as an SME based in Denmark, and we are focusing on cybersecurity, fraud, and credit risk, mostly with services, but also with some solutions that we bring to the market. Can we go to the next one? And today I am here on behalf of the whole consortium of the Detangled project. Improvise Software is participating in engagement with EU or national authorities and different stakeholders across EU member states. Our role is to exploit and disseminate the outcomes of this project and make sure that we are aligned with the directives and the regulation of the European Cybersecurity Act. Can we move to the next one? We all understand that in European Union, it's very critical for the stability and prosperity to manage the cybersecurity aspects. And I think that all of us can agree that given that currently in the current era, all different economies are interconnected digitally, then this creates, additional pain regarding cybersecurity and how we will be able as a European Union to address all these challenges. The way that EU responded, it's well known that there are different regulation frameworks. So it is NIS2, Cyber Resilience Act, DORA for the financial institutions. But there are several challenges because moving from regulation to applying all these different processes, it's turned out to be pretty hard. Now, there are some challenges that nowadays SMEs mostly, but companies in general are facing. And the first challenge you can say that are the fragmented rules. There are different landscapes in different members of EU, and there are still inconsistencies among them. There are still inconsistencies among them, and somehow we need to bridge them. There is limited capacity in the sense of resources, skilled workforce, but also infrastructure that is required in order all the entities to be compliant with the directives of cybersecurity legislation. High costs, to build and maintain the whole infrastructure that will be monitor and support all these processes. It's quite expensive and needs investment from governments, authorities, but also from private companies. Supply chain, we all know that NIS2 and CRA do not apply only to a specific entity, but also to the supply chain, to vendors that are actually working together with any organization. And this makes even more difficult and complex to be able to manage and assess all the vendors that you are currently working with. And last but not least, we know that currently there are different systems across different member units, and there are some kind disconnected with fragmenting processes. So this is just one way that you can we can understand the complexity of this landscape that has to do with EU cybersecurity legislation. And if we move to the next slide, we are aiming to address more or all of these challenges with the project that we're currently we are here for, which is Detangled, delivering a holistic and customized, easy to implement solution in order to efficiently implement the EU legislation and compliance. If you move to the next one, you can see that our solution has different components. As I said, we're still at the very early stages. I think something went wrong with my presentation because you cannot see the images that I have. So maybe I can share that you can download this from our website. But in any case, there are different components, and we're currently on the requirement analysis and design phase. So the first and the most important one is the incident platform management platform. So you can say that this is the heart of the whole system, and is designed in order to transform the way that organizations detect, respond, but also recover any cybersecurity incidents. It is a centralized single-on environment, and the idea is that it will bridge all the different entities from different countries, for different members, so that can provide a cross-border collaboration. It's also the whole idea is built under the principle of collaboration across boundaries in different countries, in different member units. The second component of our solution is the NIS2 compliant tracker. So one thing is to identify and be able to manage the incidents that are coming across. But before that, every organization, every entity needs to be compliant against the NIS2 directives, and this is sometimes can be extremely complex and needs time and investment. Especially when we're talking about small, medium enterprises, this is getting even more difficult. That's why the NIS2 compliance tracker is aiming to maintain compliance and being able to support all the different entities, no matter their size, to adapt to the regulations and the frameworks. So there is an automated gap analysis engine, but also based on that, you can identify any discrepancies, and also at the same time, this component will be able to propose some corrective actions so that can support, as I said before, full compliance against the directives. The third one is the certification support framework. Once an organization is compliant and identifies, I will be faster. Okay, thank you, Nicholas. So cybersecurity certification support, being able to support all SMEs and organizations to meet the criteria and be certified according to NIS2 and CRA. The Cybersecurity Collaboration Hub, which is the component that enables collaboration among different entities in different members of EU. And last but not least, the Supervision and Enforcement Toolkit, which introduce all the obligation for manufacturers, importers, distributors for product or digital elements. So the idea is to have a complete platform that covers all different and supports small, medium enterprises and larger organizations in order to be compliant, being able to monitor whether there are any gaps against compliance and legislation, and being able to fix and adapt to all the needs coming from EU cybersecurity legislation. Can we move to the next one? These are some expected outcomes, expected benefits. For each component, we have a list of most important outcomes and benefits that the organizations will get from this product. As I said, it's still on the design phase and the requirement analysis. Can we move to the next one? And in order to be able that we are meeting all the different needs from different type of organizations, we have use cases with large industries, with institutions, with companies that are offering electronic vehicle infrastructure, critical infrastructure, healthcare, port authorities, and in general, we try to find use cases from different markets for different segments so that we are confident that the solution can cover not on a generic level, but in different, all the detailed requirements that each market segment has. And we move to the next and last one. It's not the last one before. So timeline started just this year, 3 years, 14 partners, 8 countries, 3.5 million is the maximum grant. And our objective is we have 6 work packages and 6 use cases. So the next one. These are where the companies are, the partners are coming from. Improvise is in Denmark, Netcompany, Luxembourg, and then you can see Rina, Raffaele from Italy, from Greece, and also from Spain. Yes, and this is the team, in case you want to have some. I selected the one that I'm in front of all the other partners. So this is from the plenary meeting that we had just a week ago. So thank you very much. Unfortunately, as I said, we are, please follow us on the media, on social networks. We will keep updating the registered users with our newsletters, but also with updates about the progress that we do in all different tools. We believe that at the end, all these tools will be extremely useful to support all these complex processes that need to be followed. So, as I said, unfortunately, the presentation was not of the quality that I was expecting. So if you can share somehow, or you can download them from our, you can get.
Thank you, Nikos. That's great. This session is focusing on one of the funded projects, the Secure project, which of course provides not just funding, but also resources and tools for targeting SMEs. But importantly, it has funding to enable companies to have some of the costs covered for becoming compliant to the CRA. So we're first going to call on Anna Bourne. Anna, I can see you there. So Anna, you're going to present one of the first tools from the Secure project, which looks at maturity assessment. That's right. And you're from the Belgian Cybersecurity Center, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, over to you, Anna.
Yes, thank you very much, Nick. So hi, everyone. I'm Anna. I work for the Belgian Center for Cybersecurity, and we are a consortium partner in the EU-funded CRA project Secure, so strengthening EU SME cyber resilience. In a simplified form, Secure kind of has 2 main legs. One is the financial opportunity it provides, so financial support to European SMEs that need to comply with the CRA, with the Cyber Resilience Act. So we've just closed a first open call for 5 million euros, where European SMEs could apply for up to 30,000 euros in co-financing. And there will normally be a second open call opening after summer, so in autumn. The second leg of the project then focuses on capacity enhancement regarding the CRA. So in terms of capacity building and upskilling of European SMEs, we develop materials, tools, and trainings. On the Secure Central Repository, there are already 3 guidelines available, also in multiple languages. So there's a CRA 101 guideline, which is very beginner friendly, is open to SMEs who do not have as much knowledge yet on the CRA and who are looking for a simplification of the legal text. Then there is a more technical guideline that focuses on the technical requirements of the and the essential requirements of Annex 1, Part 1 of the CRA. So this is more technical, provides some suggestions, some practical recommendations. And there is the CRA Methodological Compliance Assessment Framework, which again covers the entire CRA compliance, provides some suggestions, some templates. Aside from that, there's also a couple of video lessons available already and 1 tool. So the CCB developed the CRA Maturity Score tool. And this helps you assess where you currently stand in terms of your CRA compliance, but also in terms of cybersecurity at organizational level, because to us, those are intertwined. You cannot guarantee a secure product and a product that is fully compliant with the CRA if you have severe gaps in your organization. So that's why it covers both the cybersecurity at organizational level, which is based on the Cyber Fundamentals framework, also developed by the CCB, and and then it covers the product level security, which is aligned with the CRA. So it shows you in which areas you're doing well, in which areas you have gaps, and that can then inspire you to fix those gaps. We can also inspire your proposal for a project for funding, for example. If you are receiving secure funding in the first open call, you will also be required to complete this maturity score tool before and after your project, so that there can be a bit of a comparison and we can see if it's improved. But regardless of funding, it is freely accessible on the secure repository already. Now, to ease using the tool and to explain a bit more how to use it and how you can benefit from it, we developed the CMS video lesson, which is a short demo. And with that being said, I would say please check out the repository, check out LinkedIn as well, because we regularly post and will continue to post training announcements on there. And I'd also like to share that next week, Tuesday on the 30th, we are hosting a webinar on vulnerability handling, which is also very beginner friendly. And we are doing that together with another CRA project with CRA AI, which we've invited for this webinar. So registrations for that are also still open. So we definitely advise looking into that. And that would be the introduction. And I would say you can play the demo video, and I hope everyone enjoys it and that it is helpful for you. Thank you.
Welcome to this training on the CRA Maturity Score, or CMS. The Cyber Resilience Act, or CRA, entered into force in December 2024 and full compliance is expected by the end of 2027.
Maybe Soren, let me share from my screen because the participants don't hear the audio. I have the settings. Let me share from my screen.
The Cyber Resilience Act, or CRA, entered into force in December 2024 and full compliance is expected by the end of 2027. Especially for small and medium enterprises, CRA compliance can feel overwhelming and it can be challenging to know where to begin. The CRA Maturity Score tool helps you assess your cybersecurity maturity and readiness to comply with the CRA. Let's discover what it entails and how you can benefit from it. The CMS allows you to measure your current level of cyber resilience, identify gaps in both organizational and product security, and track your progress over time. It is freely provided by the Secure project on the Secure website. Additionally, if you have successfully submitted a proposal to receive Secure funding, you're expected to upload your CMS before and after project completion, allowing us and you to evaluate the impact of your project. The CMS is divided into two main sections: the organization cyber resilience level and the product cyber resilience level. These two dimensions are interconnected, as a secure product cannot exist without a secure organization. Let's take a closer look. In both sections, a list of questions must be answered using three options. Yes, partially, or no. Each answer corresponds to a numerical score. Scores are then aggregated per domain and into a final average score. Your final maturity level is classified as low 0 to 1.25, medium 1.25 to 1.75, or high 1.75 to 2. Let's start with the organization cyber resilience level. This assessment is based on the Cyber Fundamentals framework developed by the Center for Cybersecurity, Belgium. The organization-level assessment covers 7 key domains. 1. Asset management and classification. Think of inventory of IT assets, data location and ownership, and secure decommissioning. 2. Access control and authentication. Unique accounts, MFA, and privileged access management. 3. Data protection and backup, encryption, and backup strategy and testing. Moving to 4. Patch and vulnerability management. Things like software updates, vulnerability scanning and handling unsupported systems or software. 5. Awareness and training. Employee training and phishing awareness. 6. Incident management and monitoring. Think incident response plan, logging and monitoring, and lessons learned. And finally, 7. Third-party, supplier security. Supplier assessment, security clauses in contracts, and cloud service verification. The second section, the product resilience level, focuses explicitly on the CRA's essential cybersecurity requirements. Any gaps here need to be addressed in order for your product to comply with the CRA. The 7 domains covered include 1. Asset and product identification. This includes a product inventory, version tracking, and component risk identification. 2. Security by design and development. Security requirements in design, threat modeling, and secure coding practices. 3. Vulnerability management. Think of vulnerability detection, patch timelines, and tracking and documentation. 4. Supply chain and third-party components. Component security checks, supplier requirements, and supply chain risk management. 5. Monitoring and incident response. This includes detection and logging, and CRA-aligned response processes. 6. Compliance and documentation. Risk assessment documentation, evidence of compliance, and reporting readiness. And finally, 7. Governance and awareness. This includes awareness across teams, and clear roles and responsibilities. Now, remember, to complete the CMS, you should answer all questions honestly. Base responses on evidence, not assumptions. And involve relevant stakeholders, such as IT, security, or legal staff. Once completed, fill in the score summary section to track your progress before and after your secure-funded project, or any other actions you decide to undertake. Let's bring all of this together. Your CMS results help you identify weak domains, prioritize remediation actions, and prepare for CRA compliance. For example, did you have a low score in vulnerability management? Try improving your patching processes. The CMS is not just a scoring tool. It is a practical roadmap to CRA compliance, helping you move from awareness to assessment to action. If you're not yet receiving secure funding, don't worry. The CMS helps you identify what you should focus on, and this can support your proposal for one of Secure's open calls for funding. By using the CRA maturity score, you strengthen both your organization and your products, ensuring long-term cyber resilience and readiness. And, remember, the Secure project offers both financial support and materials to help you achieve CRA compliance by 2027. Make sure to check out the Secure website. Now, all that is left is for you to apply what you've learned in this training. You can find and download the CRA Maturity Score tool on the Secure Central Repository. Good luck!
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. I'll leave the floor to Elena now. Thank you very much.
Hello. Thank you for your patience to be with us despite the hour. So if Anna started with secure, I will finish with secure, but before that I will present some information about our organization, NCC Romania, and also our financing tools. So as I said, I will talk about a little bit about NCC RO, about our project in which we supply the part of FSTP, our ecosystem, community services and founding, and I will finish with the secure project to have like a circle, a closed circle. I promise to be sure because we are a little bit late on the agenda. So who we are? We, from July 2024, the Authority for Digitalization of Romania took this NCC role, the National Coordination Center role for Romania. As you know, this NCC role, it's part from the European Cybersecurity Framework, in which ECCC is the main center, and each country has a coordination center. Who do we collaborate with? We collaborate with everyone, even though they are not on this picture. We collaborate primarily with SMEs because we have funding for the SMEs. We collaborate with the public sector, with the academia and the industry. We have agreements with all the four categories that are in this picture. So our main project, because we are part in many projects, but we have a project in which are the only coordinator, is our NCC project, in which we are strengthening our capacity, and we are giving, as I said, the FSTP part. In this project, from which we get the funding to sustain our activity and to sustain events for the community and sustain also the FSTP part, we have a total budget of 7.2 million euros, from which 4 million euros are dedicated to funding for SMEs. Our objective in the project is mainly our objectives as the NCC is the first objective is the capacity building. The second objective is supporting SMEs, as I said, and the third, but not the least, is our community building, our part of community building. What is this community, cybersecurity community? As you know, and also ECCC mentioned, at the level of Europe, we are trying, when I say we, I'm referring to all the member states, we are trying to create an European community, an European cybersecurity community of experts in cybersecurity, which is formed which is formed from companies, SMEs, startups, experts, public institutions and authorities, NGOs and academic institutions. So the mission is to promote a robust cybersecurity culture in the private sector and general public through initiative agree upon the stakeholders in the ecosystem. We as NCC, we firstly, before create this official community in which we have a whole submission project, we create an informal community by agreements, by signing agreements with all the main entities related to cybersecurity in Romania, cybersecurity or digital part in Romania. So we we have at this moment agreements with our two biggest association in the digital and cybersecurity domain. We also have agreements with other NCC, more closer agreements, because we in our NCC network, we communicate a lot and we share and disseminate all the project proposal or partnership searches. But we formalize agreements with NCC from Croatia, and we are having we are incurring to sign another agreement with NCC Cyprus. And we also have agreements with our main institutions, academia, from our local, regional, and national level. We have here the SMEs Association, named IMM Romania. We also have our a national cybersecurity directorate, and also we have agreements with all seven EDIH from Romania. As I was speaking earlier, I was speaking about the European cybersecurity community. Here are the scope and the main condition to be part of this European cybersecurity community. The mode in which you can be part on this community is through the Atlas, but before you should enter in Atlas, all the national NCC have received a solicitation from the entities from that member state, and they evaluate them, and after that they give their okay from entering in the Atlas community. Us in Romania, we started this acceptation in the Atlas community, I think 1 year ago. We first admitted members as our national community, and a part of our members are now and today they were in this meeting. And after we do all the checks, we transfer them to Atlas community, to the European community. What are the benefits of the community membership? So they have access to the European network of expertise. They have access and explanation about all the founding opportunities. They can influence on ECCC agenda and programs. They can have representation in the strategic advisory groups, technical support and information from us, and visibility in the European public register. The flow, as I said earlier, the flow for registration in this community is first they are coming, each entity that wants to be part of the European Commission must come first to us. Here is a QR code in which you can find the form for adhering to our community. It's a condition, firstly, to have been approved by us, and after that to go into the Atlas. Another benefit that our national community has is that we consult them in order to make the logical structure of our founding calls. As I said, we have in our project, we have 4 millions to give to SMEs for compliance to different regulation, EU regulation. For the first call, we chose the Cyber Resilience Act because that's the reason that I'm talking now about this founding, even though I had a big introduction. So We are planning to have a cascade funding. Until now, we had a methodology to see at what level our SMEs from Romania they are in this moment about knowledge in Cyber Resilience Act, and we also had a questionnaire in May. After the result from that questionnaire, we did a logical structure for our first call of funding, and this logical structure we put it in consultation with our national community, with our national community of experts in cybersecurity. So, as I said, NC0 is preparing the launch of the first FSTP call dedicated to compliance to Cyber Resilience Act. The objective is to support the Romanian SMEs to evaluate their cybersecurity level and their degree of compliance with the Cyber Resilience Act. At this call, we don't finance tools because there are a lot of tools that are financed and are free for the SMEs at this moment, and they are financed by ECCC, as you already saw in the previous presentations. The cover activities are only related to this analysis. How the call will work. So we are planning to found SMEs to have a funding rate of 75%, which is not 100% as the secure call, but I think it's more than any other project that other NCC from other member state have, because usually they finance only 50%. The payment mechanism will be on lump sum type. We will have this funding under the minimis state aid. We will have a prepayment of 30% after the contract is signed, and 70% after the full validation of deliverables, and the maximum 6 months for contract signing. So at the end of this month, on 30, we will launch the guideline, the detailed guideline for this call, and we will launch it on public consultations. This is like a flavor now for the launch. I said 6 months of implementation. Why? Because we are not trying to find only SMEs to come and get the funding from us, and after that to go themselves and find for themselves the cybersecurity companies. No, we are looking for and we are expecting a partnership form by the beginning, from the beginning. With the SMEs that are under the Cyber Resilience Act, and with the specialists, the cybersecurity entities that can provide this type of analysis. So we will have like two type of beneficiaries. First beneficiary is the cybersecurity entity, which will do the services to the SMEs, and the final beneficiary is the SMEs. So the logical for this call is to finance, because I was speaking about the lump sum. We will have 4 packages from the beginning, 4 packages which are constituted on different types of SMEs, like micro, small, or medium, with different numbers of digital products. So, and different kind of activities. So we propose these 4 type of packages with these prices. They are set. They will be set. They will not be. We will not permit to have more money on one package or the other. This will be like set from the beginning. The timeline, as I said, in May we had this public consultation dedicated to all the SMEs to see what is their knowledge about the Cyber Resilience Act. In June, we had the preparation of the community consultation phase on the FSTP founding, and we received a lot of comments, and we thank our community for being so active and help us to design this call. On June 30, we will launch publicly the guideline for transparency to all the potential beneficiaries and all the entities that are interested in. In the meantime, we will have the public procurement for the platform for the FSTP call, for the platform in which the project will be submitted. By the end of September, and we also are planning I don't know, at the beginning or maybe in the middle, at least in the middle in September, an event, and maybe we are thinking also to have some kind, because we receive this proposal from one community member, to have some kind of matchmaking event before to help cybersecurity companies to help to find those SME, and also to help the SMEs find these service providers. And in October, we are planning to start the evaluation. As I said, we don't plan to finance at this first call tools for compliance. We are planning to finance an assessment in which any SMEs that is under the Cyber Resilience Act, any Romanian SMEs is important to know what tool can use, but they will also have the providers, the cybersecurity entities, will also take in consideration when they do these proposals for the SMEs. They will also take in consideration the tools that are free now and they are developed by the projects that are already funded by the European Cybersecurity Center. So to conclude with, I'm passing at the secure project. Here is the QR code to access directly their site. As Anna, a secure project, as Anna said, it's a partnership. It's a project submitted in partnership with the coordination, the cybersecurity agency from Italy. It has as partner NCC Romania, NCC Belgium, NCC Spain, and NCC Luxembourg. They are also planning to have FSTP part. They already had a first call of FSTP that was already closed in March. They had the evaluation of the technical evaluation for all the projects that were submitted. Us from NCC Romania also contribute with expert in the evaluation committee. The launch date and the call deadline, as I said, was in March. I'm showing these informations because it will be another call, a second call, a final call, and it will have the same conditions. So that's why I'm sharing the informations for the call that it's already closed. We had over 250 applications from all across the Europe. From Romania, there were 19 application in which after the technical evaluation remained 10 application, and now we are at the stage in which we as NCC, we will verify that the entity that submitted those applications from Romania are SMEs, and also we will do the OCA checks in July, in the month that is coming. So here are some eligible cost and conditions from the call that has been, but as I said, this will be also the condition for the second call. As I said, as in our project, the applicants should be SMEs. We tried this scheme in which we finance in partnership SMEs with cybersecurity provider, which can be also large company or NGO or whatever. Here at the secure calls, we are talking only about SMEs. They are financing also tools for compliance, and they have this methodology that Anna presented to us and that we saw in the video. These are the eligible activities. You can also find all this information also in our website, because we translated them in Romania, and we also translated the guideline for the first call, and also we will translate the guideline for the second call. And please follow us on our website and our social media networks, because usually we share a lot of information about our project, because we are part of this project. And they have a lot of interesting webinars for the Cyber Resilience Act and all the stuff. Here are the companies from the first call and the split, the mode that they chose their activities. Here are also some criteria from the technical evaluation guidelines. As there will be at least 3 evaluation. It's true, we were part in this. We will also have consensus meetings, and this evaluation it's over. Now it remains only the eligibility evaluation. As I said, they are also preparing a training on Cyber Resilience Act. The training will be on June 30 at 2 p.m. and Europe time, and 3 p.m. Romania time. We also publish this webinar on our LinkedIn page, so you can take all the informations from there. Also, you have here all the contacts from Secure Project, the newsletter, the platform for submission project, and also a dedicated help desk page. Thank you so much. From the part of NCC Romania, we also have here our website, our social networks, and please follow us for more informations about our funding and our events, because we are planning lots of events. And please, when you will see the guideline posted, please come back to us with comments, because it's very helpful for us to know what the market thinks, and we want to elaborate, as we said from the beginning, this funding with the market. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nicolas.
Okay, thank you very much, Elena, and thank you very much for hosting us and looking after us, and for all of the organisation for today's event. So I think we've covered all of the different layers of the Cyber Resilience Act cake, from an EU involvement, from the European Commission, from the Cybersecurity Centre, European Cybersecurity Centre and ENISA, and also from a programme level, the different projects. And this is the first time I think we've had so many who are now publishing these tools, which should help and make clear compliance for the CRA, and also providing, as we've just heard, funding sources for companies to actually comply. Then on a national level from the NCC here in Romania and the different SME associations and national standards bodies who they all called for action, and you heard also from the standards experts to get involved and comment on the standards, and it's through the national standards bodies that you're able to do this. And I think the lady from ASRO said it doesn't cost much either, and you get market advantages from an SME perspective. And then right down to a local level with the digital innovation hubs dotted around Romania and across Europe. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone. Our next event will be in sunny Lisbon on the 17th of September. So have a lovely summer, and thank you very much for today. Thank you.